Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at good old Captain Ginyu, the purple Captain Ginyu sparking unit. We're going to look at his updated build because he got a really powerful unique equip. Look, the Ginyu Force all share this equip, so him, the Jason Berta, the Rikuman Gildo, they all have this equip. It's a very, very, very potent equip. It's very, very powerful. Ginyu, really strong. Really strong. Has a great kit. They all have really good kits. So the unique is mainly a stat boost. So it's about discussing whether the stat boost is more enough to bring their kits into relevancy. I do want to say that I think they all have great kits. They all have absolutely top-notch kits. They're all really solid units. I do think they lack a tiny bit of utility, like they needed probably endurance or something. But I understand that it's hard with a flat equip like this, which is meant to be used across 3 characters, to give them endurance. Because right then you'd be giving endurance to Ginyu, which means what? Ginyu has 4 lives, because he gets endurance, then he gets his revive, then his revive gets endurance. That's how it works. It's pretty nuts. So in terms of how things function, yeah, Ginyu would probably be a better cooler than cooler. But yeah, I think the equip does exactly what it was meant to do. It makes the Sparking Ginyu Force team a fun team to use again in PvP. It has the same kind of weaknesses it had before, but it's relevant enough to be a fun toss-up option in the meta, depending on how many dupes you have in them, how good your equips are, and also obviously how big your Zenkai boost you can hold for them are. They can perform well. They can do a very good job. Ginyu, yeah, his main ability restores his ki, special move, gives 20% his own revival chance. This is the big thing with Ginyu, it's the revival chance. It's pretty nuts that that's a thing, but it's not too bad to manage, especially if you're running a full Ginyu Force team. He has a 30% chance to body change into Goku. Obviously, if you activate his main, that gives him 50% chance. He then, all the stats like damage inflicted, damage received, that's all difficult to measure because of the unique. We'll talk about that just now. But per Ginyu Force or episode, Frieza Saga, he gets, damage inflicted buff, ki recovery up, revival chance up. So just by using his main and having Ginyu Force members, you already had an 80% revival chance, which is super duper important. Every time he uses a strike or blast darts, he increases damage inflicted, restores health, restores ki. And he also has cover change against strike, which is always useful. When he performs a vanishing step, he'll destroy one of your own cards and draw a special arts card next. Always great. And then gets plus 15% to his revival chance, which is really good. Then he also restores ki when he enters the battlefield, plus 50% to damage revival. He gets an additional revival chance per defeated ally. And also, obviously, depending on how much time has elapsed from battle, he gets buffs as well. His green card also increases his revival chance, so you pretty much have tons of ways to get that revival chance up very quickly. I personally don't miss the revive a lot, unless you literally throw Ginyu in right at the beginning, he gets completely blown up. It's really not that bad. His blue card also increases his own revival chance, it obscures all enemies' cards, and that's really the fun mechanic of Ginyu. It's got that Whis kind of hide your cards mechanic. Obviously then he revives, fantastic, into Goku Captain Ginyu. Even here he gets more ki, more arts card draw speed, cancelling of abnormal upgrades, more damage, strike and blast arts cost decreases. He will draw 1 new card when he has 3 or less, restore ki by 30 when he enters, plus 50% to next special move. Every time he uses a strike or blast, he increases damage inflicted, restores his ki, and destroys an enemy card, which is really crazy. So you can combo an enemy to just have no cards, which is pretty gnarly. Restores his own vanishing gauge by 50% as well when the enemy switches onto the battlefield. And then, depending on how much time has elapsed, he gets a whole bunch of buffs as well. Ginyu is pretty nuts. He also has a great green card, which draws a new card, gives him 50 ki, and debuffs the enemy hugely. His Milky Cannon, instead of obscuring the enemy's cards, also just deletes them. So his special move just gets rid of your opponent's hand, which is always fun. The unique that he got, the big change, is obviously that Captain Ginyu one you see on the left hand side. It's huge in terms of raw stats. Health up 15%, strike defense, blast defense 50%, damage guard 100%, inflicted damage 130%, base strike, base blast 50-50, special move damage 20%, so it's huge for Ginyu. On battlefield entry, he will draw 1 card if he has 3 or fewer. Remember, this stacks with his existing passive as well, so he's drawing 2 cards when he's got 3 or fewer. Plus 30 key when an ally is defeated. He gets plus 20% damage and damage guard as well, which is all very, very important. So when you add it all together, it's a very sizable boost. Like, it's very big boosts that are pushing him to being a far more usable unit. And what's so interesting is the more Ginyu Force members that are defeated, the crazier Captain Ginyu gets. And it's really fun. I mean, like, you can even see here how Captain Ginyu has managed to bring us back from defeat here, simply because of the damage that he does, the key, the debuffing, all of that that he does. That's so big and so crucial. So really, honestly, for me, I think the Ginyu Force is really fun again. I invested into the Ginyu Force when they first came out. They were a ton of fun for me during that time period. They only lasted around 2 or 3 months, but they were really, really fun just to run, just because they had great synergy, just because of the power of the revive at the time. I think the kits, look, aren't bulletproof. They would definitely need more to be considered a top 5 team in the game, probably. Maybe they're barely scraping into the top 10 if you have them really primo deluxe. Like, if you have them, you know, really super duper top notch, I think then, yeah, there's definitely scope that they could be absolutely tremendous to use. But I do think, for me, I do think that this is enough to make them really fun again. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. I think this is more than enough to make them an incredibly fun, powerful team that's good to use, has great synergy. The numbers are just enough to get them to being super fun to run. They still have holes, like I said. You probably want endurance on at least one of the other units, Ginyu, you know, Raccoon, Gildo, etc. Like, you do want endurance on those characters. You don't just want Ginyu to be your only get out of dodge mechanic. But honestly, really just really good, good team, and good units, and they just come together so well at the end of the day. They're not perfect, they're not a top 5 meta team, anything like that. They are, however, a absolutely rip-roaring team. They're a ton of fun. They really are cool. So I take that, you know, I take that personally. But yeah, obviously, yeah.